of esteemed colleagues and friends, and also really experts in the room, because they are the people who tell me, who apparently is the infant in the room, on how I need to age effectively at the age of 62. So thank you for inviting me on this trip that we're going to be on. I'm going to start to my left is Mr. Tom Payette. He is the baby in the room. Okay, I'm the infant, he's the baby. He turned 85 last month. He remains active and busy in the community in so many ways. As part owner of Milestone Fitness Center, a bridge player, an airplane pilot, and an Detroit Lions football fan. Prior to his retirement, he was the owner of the Frankfurt Avenue Jaguar dealership, and he said, if I would have known you sooner, he would have gotten me a Jag. So, he was born in Detroit, Michigan, and he started his education and career by going to General Motors Institute Engineering School in the mid to late 1950s. Mr. Payette moved to Louisville in the 1980s and has been married to Kathleen Greener for 61 years. Together they raised 3 children. And guess what? These days, he may be best known as the grandfather of the beloved music sensation and actor Jack Harlow. Next, we have Mr. Thomas Cork, Senior. He is actually a doctor. He's 95 years old. He has both a Congressional Medal of Freedom and in fact the Order of Fame Veterans Medal. For his service to his country as a Monfort Point Marine for 3 years during the Korean War in 1950. He worked over 30 years for the United States Post Office and volunteered 40 years for the YMCA. He remains very active in the community, he enjoys his independence, and he says he's not going to fundraise for us again. All right, now, number 3 is, get my name's right. She is born Teresa, but she goes by Dr. Terasita Orapilla, and she is also 94 years old and the adult in the room. She's a gold-standard Octogenarian honoree, and she's an amazing woman with an incredible story. At a young age, she had many trials to overcome, including hiding in a jungle from the Japanese after this city in the Philippines was invaded. Terasita moved to the US in her mid-40s with her husband from the Philippines. She completed her residency at the University of Louisville and then went back to the Philippines and opened a pediatric family practice. She told me that later years she came back, and you know how it goes in the United States, you have to redo all your education and training and get certified and all of that. So at a quite older age, she redid all of that, and she practiced at the VA for how many years? 15 years. 15 years. She is a member of the Jefferson County Medical Society, and she still writes for the Louisville Medical Journal to share her stories. And then we have Mr. LeRoy Chittenden. Now, last year, Mr. LeRoy was our only attendee in our virtual conference, and boy, we had fun with him. And since that time, Mr. LeRoy has been coming to our optimal aging clinic and the institute and doing a lot of wonderful stuff there with us. He came to Kentucky in 1990 to teach chemistry at the Elizabeth Community College. He worked for the state's Environmental Protection Cabinet, which oversaw the cleanup of the Paducah gaseous diffusion plant. He is 84 years old, and he is the youngest of the bunch here. So, upon retirement, he started to teach yoga, he's doing jigsaw Sudoku puzzles, he practiced Tai Chi, with his wife. So, Miss Anna Washington, she is just as young as Mr. LeRoy, Chittenden, 84 years old. She's been volunteering for over 22 years at the Louisville Retired Senior Volunteer Program at Chittenden Center for 3 days a week. This outreach ministry that she does for the homeless, and it's a few blocks from where she lives, and it's something she feels very deeply about. She never misses a day when they are open to help those in need. She uses God to get where she needs. She enjoys sewing and gardening with flowers, and she lived all her life here in Louisville. Nice to have you. And last but not least, the baby, the blue Mary Coomer. She taught middle school English for 25 plus years. She was a fitness instructor at the YMCA for 6+ years for older adults. And then sometimes, during our journey together, she uncovered the Trachea Institute, and boy, did we have fun together. In her free time, she does yoga, she does Tai Chi, she does art, all of that at the Trachea Institute. But guess what? She also does flamingo dancing. She writes, and she uses Italian with the mom. Wow. Nice to meet you. So I'm going to start by asking a good question to everyone. I'm going to start with Mr. Tommy to my left, and I'm going to ask him, I want all of you to think through this question and give me like a 2-minute answer. What benefits do you see in being part of a community, particularly the one that you volunteer with?
Well, I grew up in a family that's, I would describe as family origin, very generous. There was a lot of people I could disregard that got jobs, and so Kevin and I have always been involved in the community, and when I was in business, we did a lot of work with Dairy Care, I was on board with Dairy Care, the family place, and others that we were really wanting to support. And we've raised our children. I'm amazed anybody says to me that this generation today, our children are in their 50s, don't meet up to the generation of them. I say it's wrong. I find them very generous. Now I'm seeing with my grandchildren. So I think that creating that environment within the family goes on. And so we talk about my grandson Jack Howard was 26. Even that is a form of foundation. It's starting to give a lot of money to a lot of needy people, mostly in the West End. And so that's, to us, it's amazing because we see a lot of young actors and actresses and artists that are in this lane. So somehow it's let down. So I think what you do in a family and an organization can bring people into being generous.
Thank you.
Volunteering. I volunteered at the YMCA for something like 40 years. First year the membership, I think I raised like $200,000. The second year, $200,000, a little over $200,000. But what they tried to get back in the third year, I said, no ma'am. But most people think that volunteering and raising all the money is easy. Very difficult. We have to have a good committee. We have to have good contact, and you have to have good faith in people that invite you to different organizations, speak with them, let them know what you do with the money, and the YMCA is always very good. They invite you for young men and women going to high school. You got scholarships out of that. But anyway, all my life I have been volunteering for one way or the other. And my wife was a sorority person. I had her on the committee, and she would have me, so we did work together. We were married for 66 years, and we 67 years this coming May. So we've got a long time together. And somebody asked me one time, what is your thing in life that you enjoy most? I enjoy people, I enjoy talking, I know people like to talk. They, my grandkids and my son, they all know. You know everybody knows, I know a lot. I know a lot of people. When I talk to them, they come up, where I'm coming from, I enjoy life and stuff. My 95 years has not been wasted. I enjoy every bit of it. So I'm ready for the 96 now.
What's a little bit about what you see the benefit of volunteering is? What is the benefit of volunteering in your community?
The benefit of volunteering. Well, it depends on who you volunteer with. I am no longer a volunteer because I'm too old, so I live now in a assisted living. But throughout the 95 years that I have lived, I spent most of my time here. I've been in the United States for 50 years. But in the Philippines, where I was born and where I became a physician also, I stayed there for years and years. I was a physician for poor people. You see, I had my first residency here in the States when I was 26 years old. But I went back to the Philippines after that and practiced for about 20 years, taking care of people from the mountains. And instead of being in a city, I stayed in a small town where I would help the poor people. And poor is really poor. So what you do when you practice like that, you try to see what they need and try as much as possible to give them the means to get better. At that time, they would still have free medication that they give to doctors. So what you do is a family of 5 will come, they have booking now, and they say, he's sick. So, how much money do you have? 20 pesos. The 20 pesos will be used for the food at home, for the transportation back to the office. So what you do is you say, okay, you pay 2 pesos so that the meal is not free, and that gives them about 7 cents. And then you try to see you donated medications, and after you tell them, okay, then you can go. And then you say, but Lola, grandmother, is also coming, so now you have to get it. So your work is almost voluntary, but it gives you a lot of pleasure that you can serve and volunteer with people that have almost nothing. Thank you.
Mr. LeRoy, what do you think?
I was raised on the prairies of Kansas and Nebraska and nurtured and loved, and I'm just giving back now. Just giving back.
And Ms. Anna, all the work you do with the helpless individuals that you work with? Tell us about why you do what you do. Why are you volunteering?
Well, I volunteer because we meet a lot of different people, and I have met some friends, and a lot of them that does come over the shop, they will say, where is Miss Anna at? I said, call me Miss Anna. They said, why I want Miss Anna? So I just enjoy shopping. There was a time I came 5 days when we were open, and now we are down to 2. But I just enjoy it. I meet different people. That's not doing it. And I'm like I said, I met a friend of mine that is gone, who was in Betty, and I miss her, and I talk about her all the time. She was my buddy. Yeah, I just enjoy it. I like to continue on, as long as I can. And maybe Jim will up a few more days, or one more day, I don't know.
Same representative.
Okay.
Well, I guess I'm the slouch of the group. I'm still young though. I don't really volunteer very much. I worked in the family business. I started working when I was 7. Apparently my father didn't know anything about child labor laws. So I taught school for years. I sometimes worked 2 or 3 jobs. My last job was at LeRoy, right up until lockdown. Then I found training to rehabilitate myself physically after having had 3 joint replacements. And now I'm just kind of playing around, with the art and the Tai Chi and the yoga. And maybe when I'm, more mature, I will volunteer.
Should get a little ready for art classes, should get a little ready for yoga classes, should get a little ready for archery. I think you're already volunteering, right? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, Mr. Payette, I'm going to ask you a specific question. Why do you think it's important for the contributions that older adults make to society to be recognized and celebrated?
I would say my standard answer to my children and grandchildren is not so smart, it's just, I have some wisdom. I've been through that so much. I think we bring wisdom to the family and to those who we know because of our life experience.
The wisdom of the older adult, isn't that so important that we recognize that wisdom? Because we always forget sometimes that we have so much life experience that's right here that we can learn from. So thank you for that. Dr. Terasita, I have a question for you.
Yes.
I want to ask you, COVID brought to the forefront the many inequity issues that exist in our healthcare system. How do you think healthcare professionals can provide equitable care for everyone?
What was the last question?
How do you think healthcare professionals can provide equitable care for everyone?
Well, this new generation has different rules from the old. COVID devastated a whole lot of people. So sometimes the physicians are not able to do the things that they want to. They are told what they should do. And sometimes it's against their own judgment. So the physicians now follow what they are told, not what they think so. And he said something about how can
we provide care for everyone that's the same kind of care for everyone?
I think that it would be possible to give care for everyone wherever they are. We have, at least in my view, people that cannot follow all these orders that they are told. Some stay in nursing homes and like I would have. And I wouldn't be in charge of what I want to do. I follow what they do. Okay. And there's a lot also of politics involved in it, and people sometimes do not believe in what's going on. So I think that it would be better for each and every community to decide what is best for their own community. See, for example, if you're in poor communities, that's not only in the United States, but in other places, they will have another way of dealing with it. But if you live a city like ours, people are told, you are going to have your own injection or, so we have to follow the rules of that. So, yeah, so I think there's no way to specifically say how are you going to treat them. There's so many variables. Thank you.
I have a question for you. In your experience, as really, someone with 95 years, the lived experience that you bring, what are some of the common misconceptions about aging that you encountered, and how have you worked to overcome that?
First thing, when somebody say you're old, they say put you out of rest to a point. You can't be involved because you still have a good mind. And you find out people that they take over your experience, they talk to you, and they find out soon when you conversate with you that you're for real, and you're not asking for a whole lot of help a little bit, but you have to be respected for your age. You have young people come by and talk to you, and I go pro sometimes, and they say, thank you for your service, sir. And how old are you? I said, I'm 95, 94, 95. You're not that old? I said, yes, I am. But anyway, the life moves on. And people ask questions, they're not just going to just be asking. They want to know your opinion, and they feel that your opinion will be respected because you got this far out of my faith and so on. So if you do things in life and people recognize you to be old, so be it. I've had 95 years and they haven't been wasted. That's before I've been involved in so many things. I'm still involved with my grandkids in the organization. They want to know how you feel about certain things in life now, about hospitals, nursing homes, and caregiving. And then still, there are people out there that use your knowledge and the experience you have, military experience. So that's my thing on it. And just because you're old, you still have good ideas to pass on to young people. And hope they will take it in stride.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So, I have the same question for you. The misconceptions about aging and how have you been able to overcome those misconceptions?
I haven't. Well, first of all, I should tell you and tell everybody, to be honest, I've been kicked out of 3 practices here in Louisville. They just, I really pissed off the office manager. Part of the problem, it seems to me, is that doctors assume that if you're old, you don't know anything.
Yeah.
They've got it, you don't know anything. And my view is that when I go to see a doctor, we're a team. They're the team leader. I'm not the team leader, but if they bring me on board, we're going to take care of whatever the health problem is. And it's just not that way a whole lot of times. The doctor thing seems that the ego of the doctor is threatened. And I think that's a real problem. That's just one of the problems that I see.
All the doctors in but that's an important point, because we advocate for ourselves and we advocate for what we need. So thank you for doing just that. So Ms. Anna, in your experience, what are some, wrong question. In your opinion, what are the most important things you can do to stay happy?
Well, so you said stay happy? Well, Thank the Lord for letting me live see the 84. I'm still able to hop the buses and go do the things I'm used to doing. And mom and dad, they're gone, and I see after them. So the Lord is just really blessing me real good. And I don't consider myself old. So I'm able to go.
So, Miss Mary, I have to have a little box of wisdom. And I want you to share just one little piece of wisdom in this group that you want us to walk away with.
Fall 7 times, stand up 8.
That's a great statement. I really appreciate that. And now we're going to ask each of you another final question. And I'm going to ask one of you. As you look back on your life, what advice would you give to the younger generation about how to prioritize their own well-being?
I've said for years to my children, myself, my grandchildren, enjoy the journey, enjoy every day. If you don't, there's going to be faced. So try and instill in them that to be happy within yourself is just take a look and enjoy every day.
Absolutely enjoy it. Same question for you. What advice would you have for the younger people to keep themselves healthy and well?
First of all, they get to get educated in school, that's all thing. And also, make sure that you don't get involved with some kind of smoking or whatever that's harming your health. Take advice from your elders and be very appreciative when somebody try to give you good advice. Let somebody tell you to do something, you do something wrong. Don't try to get back at them and refuse to talk to them because they correct you. So a lot of people will see young people doing something wrong, they don't know who they are, but they tell them that they're wrong, they should be doing it. Make sure that you appreciate when somebody gives you advice. Maybe somebody may see you for like here today, there are people here that may give you good advice. You say, well, they don't know anything, what is it? But you never know when people tell you advice. They have been experienced, they had gone through the same thing you go through. They had advice given to them, but they followed it. So their life came out different because of their attitude, because of their advice. So when somebody talks to you and gives you advice, be a Christian, maybe if you don't follow it or not, but give them a benefit of the doubt. Say thank you, say very much for your information. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. What would you tell the younger generation? How can they keep themselves healthy?
How can they keep themselves
Healthy.
healthy? Well, the norms have changed now, because the younger generation, what to do, because they have a different set of values. I think first, an example, if you don't smoke, you don't take drugs, you don't think. I think if you show you and your family that you don't do the things that you determine the fairness of your health, you know, show by example. And I think if you give advice, make it general and don't put them back. Just say, this is what if you do, if you do this, and this is what's going to happen. If you don't say you're smoking about it doesn't work. I think to give good examples of those that go to all of this, you know, smoking, drinking, and things, helps a lot. If you can refer them while they're still not sick. Okay.
I'm going to say the same thing that I say to older people that I out on the prairie. In my graduating class in high school, there were 18 of us. And in order for us to have a basketball team or a football team, we were out for sports. All the guys were just, so that's been a part of my life. Being healthy all of my life. So that's number one. Number two is keeping emotionally healthy. And unfortunately, in the world we're living in, that is a really hard one. I mean, right now, just the pressures, the changes of getting old is just you have to work on it constantly in your health and so on. But we have to be emotionally healthy. And lastly, we need to keep our intellect, our brain going. Keep that as healthy as possible. My wife has Alzheimer's, but she's probably, when I left her, she spent an hour in her studio and then went down and worked on the jigsaw puzzle that we have going and so on. She also is keeping herself intellectually healthy. So those are my three. For everybody, all of our lives.
Excellent. What did you say? What would you tell the younger people? How do they stay healthy and happy?
Well, do the thing that they're supposed to do. I call myself Octogenarian because I was around grandma and granddaddy all the time. And you could learn things from them. They can tell you about this and that, that help keep, younger. So that's why I said, Lord, bless me to be 84. And I'm still able to go through a lot of things that I want to do. And hop the buses and maybe help others. A lot of my cousins think they are sick and they just still do the same old things. That's what they're doing. I would like to have never changed. And that makes a difference in what you do. They say that I'm old-timey. I said, well, I came from that old school. I was around grandma and granddaddy, and they rubbed off on me real good. My auntie had a baby every year. She had 12, and mother auntie did. And it didn't know better than me. And mama just had me. And it really got me good. And a friend of mine on where to stay, Anna Louise, she's old-timey. I asked Rhonda, I said, what did you say? I said, I know what you just said. You didn't do number leg. That's what he did about it. No, he did. I said, that's all right, I'm on the right track. That's one thing, but you're not. That's why she wasn't on the right track, but I was.
Yes, I got baptized in Jesus' name.
The Lord filled me with the Holy Ghost. That was my
Okay, when I moved to New York at the age of 40, after losing everything, and my husband and me are older women, people ask me how I have such a good attitude. And I said, I laugh a lot, I cry a lot, I pray a lot, and I drink a lot. I didn't get away with the fourth one very much longer. I've been sober for 38 years. I still cry a lot, I still pray a lot. I have a couple of mottos, of course, motto Mary. Progress, not perfection. I already said Paul 7 times 10 a day. And this is a quote from Terasita. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself.
Wow. I'm so impressed. This was wonderful. Thank you all so much. I'm going to take a risk here, and I'm going to ask if there's anyone in the audience with a burning question. There's one.
Hello, wonderful answers and wonderful questions all around. I just have my burning question. I'm 23 years old. I just recently started a new job, and I just wanted to ask you, this is just general, so anyone who's brave enough to answer, how do you deal with mistakes and failures throughout your life? Of course I'm young and I'm not all that wise yet, but I'm hoping that maybe you can shed some light on my question. So, thank you.
That is an excellent question. Who on this panel has the guts to answer this one?
Progress, not perfection. Progress, not perfection.
Anyone else?
I would say that, I used to think of myself a mistake was just another way of doing something. So that I didn't get hung up on somebody else telling me it wasn't the right thing to do. Because a lot of mistakes that you make are innocent, a lot of mistakes you make are not really something you had enough information. And so, for me, that's how I did it. The other thing I would teach myself was the word no. I took N-O as K-N-O-W. So that when I was faced with trying to get something other than a work situation, and I heard a no, rather than own it, I would say, either I don't know enough or they don't know enough. So how do I explore it? So don't be hard on yourself, because we've all made lots of mistakes. Stay focused on what you're doing and be confident in what you're doing.
Thank you.
This is great. Any other question? Mr. LeRoy? Yeah.
I probably, in this room, I probably made more mistakes than anybody. And that's all right with me, because as a chemist and a mathematician and so on, you're gonna make mistakes when you work your problem, and if you get it, great, but you probably are gonna make a mistake, and you need to find out where the mistake is. So you learn from your mistakes. Learning from your mistakes is really important. When I was teaching at Elizabethtown Community College, teaching chemistry, there was this news story of, there was this operation, I think it was in Florida, and the guy was going to have his leg amputated, and they cut off the wrong leg. And, you know, I just thought to myself, I'll bet that's the first mistake he ever made in his life. I mean, how do you do something like that you don't know to not make that kind of a huge mistake? Learning to make mistakes, I mean, we're not Jesus. I mean, we are human beings. We're gonna make mistakes. And it's just being able to forgive ourselves and to learn from our mistakes.
Yes. Yeah.
This is Cork.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think you said 23 years.
Yes, sir.
Go try 95 and say a mistake.
It's got 70 years.
Anyone else? That is such a good question. There's a question there.
Thank you. So, just a few, I'm 25, I'm in a relationship. Will we be here for this relationship and marriage advice?
Oh. Yes, relationship or marriage advice. Who wants to tackle that? Maybe you might not want to.
I've been married twice, 5 years each time, wasn't been real happy ever since. I never, as musicals, went out to love.
Anyone else?
I would just always say this, that, not being a woman, I can't answer from your vantage point, I can only answer from males, I've been married 61 years. And, I learned early on that, to listen. We talk about no and KMW, hardly ever say no. Best thing you could say is, only think about it. I won't say no, all the time, because no starts very difficult. You didn't know.
Great. Anyone else? Final word. Oh, it's another question, okay.
Hello, I have a question. My problem is mostly everybody else. They really are. As I'm getting older, I'm 66 years old, and most people I've been around, they are used to the youthful me. I've always done things, they've always seen me as being very youthful. I'm 66. So things are starting to happen in my life, health-wise or family, just things that are causing me a lot of difficulty. They don't seem able to accept that. They're still with the old me. You know, you live this way, you do this. They're having difficulty accepting what I am. And not that this can help. People look at me and say, oh, you should tell them you're 76, then you really look good. But how can I get everybody else to accept this me? This older me, I'm not 46, I'm not 56, I'm 66, on the way to 70, and I'm very serious because I don't get support. Because, and maybe it's their issue, but they don't accept that. So it really, that's another part, because it really causes me problems. I just can't get support from what used to be my community, and I'm trying to change and get a new community in terms of people that are my age, but even some of them, I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
The transition just isn't going for me, because folks that are a lot older than me cannot accept the fact that I'm close to 70. My other, what used to be friends, family, whatever, they refuse to accept the fact that I'm not, you know, so I hope somebody understands what I'm saying. So I need.
So anything else? Yes, please.
I think one of the things that we all have to realize is that we're gonna outgrow a lot of people. If we keep nurturing ourselves and we keep us an inner life and we keep growing, there are gonna be people who really don't want to have anything to do with us. And there will be people that we can find to do, and I think that's part of our search for wholeness and inner peace and all the good things.
Anyone else before we review? Everyone, this has been amazing. Our panelists have no doubt lived lives full of joy and heartache, success and failure. They have loved, they have lost. But through it all, they have maintained a zest for life. Don't you agree? A zest for life.